pressure in goal. The back three of Luján, Sanchez and Hernandez. Giai, Elias, Peruzzi and Braida across the midfield. Leguizamón and Barrios, the two that support the centre-forward Adam Barreiro. Rafa Perez is the player suspended after his red card against Racing, which sees Carlos Sanchez go back into that defence and allowing Francisco Peruzzi to come into the lineup. And for River, there's no changes from their win on Wednesday night against Colón. Armani in goal, in the back four of Casco, Paulo Diaz, González Pérez and Enzo Diaz, Enzo Pérez and Rodrigo Aliendro shielding, and then a midfield three of De La Cruz, Nacho Fernandez and Ezequiel Barco behind the leading scorer, Lucas Beltrán. So match day 24 in the LPF, just the one game so far. Just a short while ago, pretty drab 0-0 draw between Estudiantes and Racing. Coming up here, San Lorenzo against River Plate. And then we continue tomorrow at 3:30 with Instituto against Tigre, and also Platense versus Sarmiento. At 6 o'clock, Vélez Sarsfield take on Godoy Cruz. And then at 8:30, it's Banfield versus Arsenal, and Defensa y Justicia taking on Lanús. On Monday at 2, Argentinos Juniors take on Barracas Central. At 4:30, Belgrano make the trip to Santa Fe to play Colón. 7:30, Boca Juniors take on Huracán at La Bombonera. And then at 9:30, the potentially decisive game for Talleres as they host Unión. 3 more games on Tuesday. 6:45, Rosario Central versus Central Córdoba. 8 o'clock, Independiente versus Newell's. And the final game of the round at 9:30, Atlético Tucumán against Gimnasia. So this is the outlook at the top of the table. River Plate with that lead over Talleres at the moment. They can go 12 clear with the win over third place San Lorenzo, who sit there on 42 points. San Lorenzo themselves can go above Talleres tonight if they are to pick up the win. But that is how close River are now to the title. Just 3 games remaining after this one. 9 points up for grabs. And so we are almost there. River can almost taste the title. The bottom of the table looks like this. Of course, relegation won't be decided like the title in 3 games time. That will be at the end of the year. But Arsenal rock bottom and looking in real trouble on just 17 points. Huracán, the team above them, on 19. And then 4 teams on 24 points. Vélez, Colón, Unión and Banfield. Terrific atmosphere as ever. Not often we have the LPF home games for San Lorenzo under the lights here, but it just adds that little something special here. And whenever it's San Lorenzo against River, you know it's a big game in Argentina. And tonight there is that extra incentive for the visitors, closing in on the title. So we're almost ready to go here. San Lorenzo versus River Plate, match day 24 in Argentina's LPF. And it's a pleasure to be joined once again for this one by John Cottrell.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. As you've been saying, River Plate on the verge of clinching the league title, but the champagne will remain on ice for now, because whatever happens tonight against San Lorenzo, Los Missionarios will still have to wait for that result. The Talleres against Unión game on Monday. For their part, San Lorenzo are fully focused on clinching a place in next season's Libertadores, and El Ciclón would love to be the party poopers this evening. Peter, there's loads to play for in this match between 2 of Argentina's biggest names. And if the atmosphere is anything to go by, we should be in for a bit of a treat.
Yeah, we really should. It's a shame that San Lorenzo's perhaps lack of goals in the end has cost them the potential of this being a bit of a title showdown, because for a long time they were looking like the team most likely to really push River Plate, but unfortunately too many draws under Ruben Insua has just seen them tail off. They still sit there, we just saw before, in third place, but as you rightly point out, John, they're now focusing more on positioning themselves well placed for the second half of the year to push on and get a place in the 2024 Libertadores. the immediate future and their immediate focus will, of course, be on the Copa Sudamericana. And they have a big playoff game in that competition against Independiente Medellin. They travel away to Colombia in just a couple of days' time. They play on Wednesday evening, so a packed schedule for the home team San Lorenzo, but they'll certainly be hoping, as you rightly say, to just put the brakes on River's title celebrations.
Well, it is throbbing, as you can see. Fans braving the temperatures of around 13 degrees C, which isn't bad for this time of year. We're fast approaching 8:30 local time. Massive, massive game in La Liga Argentina. San Lorenzo against title team-elect River Plate. River, whatever happens tonight, whatever happens in that Talleres game, surely the title will be theirs before too long, barring a huge disaster, and it would have to be something absolutely catastrophic. Well, I hope he's going to replace that little digit. Maybe not. It's like it's going in the pocket.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen, the Lord of the Rings star and an ambassador really for San Lorenzo wherever he goes. Back in Bajo Flores to watch his team tonight.
Well, they really should have brought the Pope in, Peter, for this game with the size of the match tonight.
Two captains, and we see there for San Lorenzo, former Riverman himself, Augusto Batasha, embrace there with Enzo Perez, the veteran River captain, who very much looks as though he is coming to the end of his time with River. A pretty emotional scene at the home game against Colón on Wednesday night as he was replaced late on in that game, going to the bench, and standing ovation from the Monumental with the news that he wasn't going to renew his contract with the club.
Yeah, it's a weird time of the year, isn't it? The international transfer window's open. Got players coming to the end of the contracts, which almost coincides, but not quite, with the end of the league phase of La Liga in Argentina. Then we've got the Copa de la Liga just round the corner, but big names already parting with various clubs and won't appear again for the final few matches.
Yeah, of course, San Lorenzo themselves have seen that this week. Federico Gattoni, the young centre-back who's played a lot of games this season, was officially unveiled by Sevilla just a couple of days ago. And when you can put that into consideration, along with the suspension of Rafa Perez along that back line, the two of them having clocked up a lot of minutes this season, it's a bit of a reshuffled defence for Ruben Ensua tonight.
"232 meetings between these two. San Lorenzo have won 64, River a whopping 92. Slightly behind schedule. Both teams out there waiting to get a move on. Just waiting for confirmation from our official.
So River Plate still very much in charge when it comes to the title, but they're held here by San Lorenzo. It ends 0-0. No goals tonight in the LPF. Hopefully more to come tomorrow. However, on behalf of myself, John Cottrell and team, thank you for joining us here, and we'll be back tomorrow with more action from the LPF. Good night.